happening? Look at this, look at this, look at this. This is cute. Is my mic on? Yes. I'm trying to get back into a regular shop your closet video cadence. This is like my favorite thing to do, and I've been doing it for years. It's taking inspiration that I find online, wherever, and by dissecting and breaking down the inspiration into elements of style, things like color, texture, proportion, silhouette, all that stuff, I find it so much easier to decouple fashion and style from consumption, because then we're seeing our clothes that are already in our closet as tools in which to express ourselves, versus clothes that maybe we've had for years that we're a little bit tired of and we don't know how to restyle in interesting ways. Today we are tackling menswear, and I'm talking about menswear in the very traditional sense. I think now the lines between genders are becoming blurred, and it's fantastic. Anyone can wear whatever they want, and I think this is a really beautiful thing. But for the purposes of today's video, I'm going to be talking about very traditional menswear items like suiting, trousers, tailoring, button-up shirts, all that kind of thing. Rather than take 3 specific looks, I've actually created a mood board with some of my favorite men's style icons or people that I follow online. So they range from classic to contemporary. However, I believe all of these guys represent a really beautiful and timeless style. So some of the through lines and the elements of style that I'm seeing here, number one, all of these looks are featuring timeless classic pieces, and I would say staples in menswear. But the themes and the elements that make them that way, I think number one are a structured silhouette. You can see here, even in the looks that feel more contemporary, like the boot cut kind of button pant, there's still a really great structured silhouette from top to bottom. I love this. It's a lot more difficult to pull off in the summer months. I find in the summer we just want clothing to like be flowy and fall off our body, but I personally love the sharpness of a tailored separate or tailored silhouette in general. Even if you're looking at Paul Newman up there, where he's just wearing like a simple V-neck tee with a pair of trousers, we've still got that element of structure with the super like beautifully tailored trouser and the simple silhouette of the white tee. It might have a little bit of a softer drape, it might be more figure hugging, but it definitely features just a really classic and clean lines. What's interesting is like a really great mix of textures here. So it could be because we've got like a couple of linens, a bit of that more silky feel, whether it's like a silk tie around the neck or a button-up shirt that has a little bit more of a softer drape. I find that's really beautiful, especially when coupled with a linen or like a tropical wool trouser. Layering also, I think here is a bit unexpected, especially since summer is like not really a time for layering, but I'm seeing it even in something as simple as like the skinny belt to break up the monochrome look, or the layering of a little silk scarf around the neck. I also see a pretty solid element of polish here, which doesn't surprise me. I tend to prefer a little bit of polish. One of my 3 words is undone. So if you don't know 3 words or like why we use them to not lose our sense of style, I'll link that video up here for you. Alison Bornstein also does a lot of really good work around 3-word methods, so I will leave her information up there for you as well. I find it really interesting that most of these looks and a solid through line is that sense of polish and being buttoned up. We're seeing lots of shirts tucked in, a lot of closed-toe shoes. What else? Oh my gosh, of course, neutrals. Tons and tons of neutrals. Almost no color in here, but I love how working with neutrals just feels really rich and harmonious and creates a really beautiful through line throughout all of these looks. Okay, let's shop my closet. I love this. I've put this together before. Went a little heavy on the footwear with the penny loafer, but I think if you wanted to kind of mix the masculine, feminine kind of thing, I would go with like a super killer heel, which I think is also a really neat way of reinterpreting menswear. I've got the tailored separates on the top and the bottom, a little nice mix of texture like the light wool, the little bit of cotton, the stripes, the collar. But I just want to show what it would look like if we just went with a super high heel, and how you can really change up the vibe or mix the styles successfully by keeping it really sleek and minimal. A shoe that is like too loud or wild, I think it would feel a little bit out of place here, so I've kept it with the patent. I think this is really good. Oh, you know what else we could try? To add a little bit of that texture. I think maybe this is a little too dark. Yeah, I think the black is perhaps a bit too dark. Hang on. If you are tying these little neckerchiefs, I've done this before, what I like to do is do a little open knot. See, you leave the hole open and just throw this through, and then you can, it's almost like an actual little tie, you know? Oh, this is super cute. Is it too like flight attendant-y? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's kind of interesting. I think the black would have also been interesting, but maybe a bit too harsh, especially for summer. But this is good. I like this. What would this look like with the loafer? Hang on. Also good with the loafer. You see how the weight of the loafer, as soon as you switch it out with the scarf, I think it creates a completely different look. Definitely more like visually heavy, but still works. Obviously, the puzzle, there's no contest. I'm wearing blue. Oh, something else I've done to kind of balance out that masculine feminine and also stay true to my 3 words, which are classic, minimal, and undone, is to just leave my hair kind of down and styled and a little bit, I mean, it's not even styled. So I think that's what lends a little bit to something that still feels like me. Also like this combo. This was fully inspired by that Paul Newman look. I think the tee could maybe be a little bit more fitted, but I like how it's just super simple. We've got the high contrast, we've got the mix of something that feels a little bit more relaxed with something nice and tailored and structured. I didn't want to go with a full high heel on this one or a sneaker. Like the sneaker would feel too sporty and the super high heel would feel like trying too hard. So I kind of like how the slingback still marries that nonchalance with like a little bit of elevation. Also, because my t-shirt's black and my hair is so dark, I feel like there's not a lot of definition around here. So I think I would just wear my hair up, definitely in a ponytail or something. Just something that still feels a little bit like, still has a little bit of movement and not so like rigid or severe as a low bun or even a low pony. There, I like this one. This is definitely more of like, I know I said all the looks are like really timeless, but here, like with the paper bag waist, even the way the sleeves, the way I cuffed them all the way past the elbow, this is like a little bit different for me. It feels perhaps a little bit more vintage inspired than some of the other menswear looks. I didn't want to go too heavy on the structured, like the super crispness. The shorts are a little bit softer. They've got a little bit of those clean silhouette, but there's a lot more drape to both of these pieces. I think we still get some of those elements of tailoring, that sense of structured and tailored separates, but maybe it feels a little bit easier. And I like the waist definition. I'd pull in the brown and see this gives it like a little bit more of that feminine touch. Gives it a little bit of that texture, which we were talking about. I'm not opposed to a heel and shorts. That's usually like one of my absolutely favorite looks. But for some reason here, I'm just like not super feeling it. I think we really lose that essence of like the vintage, the menswear feel, the drapiness. I don't love this. What if I added a blazer? Yeah, you see, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. If I wanted to wear the heel, then the blazer would have to be involved. It's almost like the height of the heel requires something with a little bit more gravitas, more elevation, and even the proportion. The fact that they are in a similar colorway is really important. By working with the proportions, by adding that lengthier proportion, we're kind of lifting the whole look and making the pump work. And I think with the blazer, we still get a really great menswear inspired look, but we've just added a little bit of this like femininity with the pump. I also really wanted to try this button up with the little carrot silhouette chinos. So I think with the pleats, I think that's a really cool element of tailoring. But I also wanted to introduce a little bit more of that element of summer ease and draping. Is this too Indiana Jones? Is it? I mean, I've referenced him before. Maybe he should have been on my mood board. Let's try the penny loafer. This is cute. Have to come to terms with our man Indiana. Here's the other option. Also super cute, but very different. So I think the reason why this is working is that we have a really cool tension between something fitted and feminine on top, and then we've got that structure on the bottom. I think also because everything is a neutral, stripes are such a classic. Something else I really like is the brown mixed with the black, white, and tan. I mean, look, I know it's not groundbreaking, everything's a neutral, so it'll all go together, but I actually love this. It gives us the same feel, that same sense of ease as a little knit polo would, because let me show you, I've got that like great like little knitted texture. I'm getting the slouch, the drape, that really great mix of textures, even that really nice mix of silhouettes, right? Like this is a little bit slouchy, it's a little bit cozier mixed with the structure of the pants. I'm gonna leave the penny loafer with this because if you can see the knit, like there's a little bit of a detail here, plus the V, the little cap sleeve, this makes it feel a little bit more feminine. So I like the juxtaposition with a penny loafer. Again, we've got the matching browns with the belt and the penny loafer. I mean, I don't think a men's belt and his shoes always have to match. I think that's like a little bit of an older quote unquote rule that is a little bit archaic now. I think it's more about just an overall cohesiveness in both men's and women's wear, but this is good. I think this nails that little juxtaposition, the tension between the feminine and the masculine, a little bit of tension between the textures, the silhouettes. Totally gonna wear this summer. In the absence of a summer suit, I thought instead I will just do sort of like the tailored separates again, but make them feel really sharp. See if I can pair a blazer with this ensemble. You know, fully tucked in shirt, even that alone gives like a bit more of that sharper impression. Do a little bit of a tonal look. This is kind of interesting. I don't know if I like these two blues together. This is quite heavy. There's like a lot of stiffness happening up around here. The jacket is also boxy, but also quite long, and this is a wider pant. So we don't have a lot of definition. See, this is a little bit better. We have a little bit more definition. The jacket is more tapered, so I'm not getting completely lost because it's still heavy up here, okay? I mean, you could do the loafer. This would be like very Diane Keaton-esque. The pant isn't high enough. We're not seeing enough definition either on the leg. There isn't enough difference, tension between the volumes happening here. Even though the blazer is a little bit more tapered, it's still long. I've got a long blazer over a longish pant that isn't even showing any ankle with a flat, chunky shoe. Yes, the pants are high-waisted, which is great, and this is tucked in, so we're seeing my waist. This isn't horrible, but I'm not loving it. It's just the proportions are a little wonky. I need a little bit more definition. I've also rolled the sleeves up. This is kind of where the undone factor comes in for me. I think if a guy did this, it would just look weird and sloppy. Hair up or down, I don't want it to feel too severe because we've got so much structure here. The pointed toe, the blazer, the button up. But in lieu of a suit, I think it's good. I also am very curious about what this would look like again. If this blazer had room, I would do pocket square here probably instead. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Let's see how this goes. What do we think? Not bad. Oh my God. I actually love this so much more. Oh wow, I surprise myself every time. Feels a lot like an ascot, but the ascot is a little bit too stuffy. I like how we're still getting like, see a little bit of skin here. I think this is good. That is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you enjoyed the menswear inspiration. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or even if you just learned something new. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week ahead. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. I will see you in the next slow fashion video. Ciao!